Chris Tyson must be stopped. Hopefully he's not too late and he didn't get his little member chopped off. But as I'm sure you've heard by now, Chris has been making some drama lately, very controversial. He surprised us all with his transformation. I noticed it a little in the Mr. Beast private plane video, but I thought it was only him like dressing up like a new trend or like for a skit maybe. I didn't think he was serious. I mean, he was dressed with his fingernail painted. And no offense, I mean, I'm used to seeing Chris, beard, some Carhartt clothing maybe. That's what I was used to, the old Chris. Let's get straight to the point of this video. Chris Tyson is 26 years old. He was married and has a child, a boy. For those of you that don't know what a boy means nowadays in this modern society, I'll tell you. Boy, definition, a boy, a male, child, or adolescent. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say definition, Google did. The definition doesn't say, oh, whoever identifies as a boy. No, you can do what you want, just don't push it on other people, please. Thank you. I'm not sure if maybe this is like a early midlife crisis for Chris. It's very possible because it's not just him making drama right now. It's also his tweets. The tweets he posted in the past and the tweets he's posting right now. Tucker chose to slay this morning. Uh-oh. Tucker is the name of his son. I think people forget at times, you know, being a parent means teaching your kid what's right and what's wrong. I'm not saying this is wrong for the snowflakes that are gonna be commenting in my comment section, disliking my video hardcore, but I am saying that I personally don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I think, okay, you're raising a child. Would you let your child run the country? No. Would you let your child decide what he wants to eat? Would you let your child decide what to wear to school? Would you let your child decide anything you should do? No. People don't understand. Even fully grown adults regret choices they made at the age of 18. They regret choices they made at the age of 21. They regret tattoos they got when they were 22. Do you understand what I'm saying? A person would just be behaving ungrateful if they didn't embrace the gifts they were blessed with. I do recommend, okay, if your kid wants to transition to anything, wait till he's 18. I would say personally, wait till he's like 20, 21 at least, at the very least. But at this time, a job of a parent is to raise a child how they're supposed to be raised. I'm not trying to be a booty hoe, but if you were blessed with a male child, I think it's your job to raise him as a male child. Well, he likes acting like a dog too. Can he be a dog as well? I don't think so. If you were blessed with a baby girl, you raise her as what she is. A beautiful baby girl, right? Simple. You know, people like to overcomplicate things. It's not that hard. Obviously, I'm not saying parenting is easy, but I'm saying just because a child wants to do something doesn't mean he gets to do it. If a child wants to cheat in a basketball game, are you going to allow him to cheat in the basketball game because that's what he wants? No, life isn't about what you want. I'm sorry to break your heart. In life, you can get a lot of things that you want, but there are things that are pretty much set in stone. You know, you can't really change them. If you are 16 but you feel 50, no one could give a flying if you feel 50 because you're not 50. So they won't treat you like you're 50. Even if they are forced to treat you like you're 50, deep down, they know it's not true. But for those in cancel culture, come closer. As I'm sure you've heard, Chris has been trying to sue people that are hurting his feelings on Twitter. He'd be like, oh, my lawyers will be in contact soon with you. So if you think that people that hurt his feelings should be canceled, well, first why don't you read this? Chris Tyson. Between what happened at the Ariana Grande concert and what's going on in the Philippines, why the frack do we even take that community? I respect most people so much that I will not even finish that lesson, but you know what it says. And then it says, it's an old booty, backwards. I'm not gonna say the word again just because, you know, in combination it's kind of rude. I'm not gonna say it. That hates anything different and treats women like dookie. Why the frack do people still accept it? Listen here, Chris. Whether you not want to be referred as Chris still or I'm not sure. Religion is something you don't disrespect. Whether you agree with their beliefs or not, there are millions of people, perhaps billions of people that are in that religion. Things can get out of hand disrespecting that religion. Personally, I'm not part of that religion, but I respect it. Yes, you know, people shouldn't take comments so serious, but comments that are not about religion. You're messing with people's beliefs now. What keeps people going, what runs people's lives sometimes, you're messing with that, and this is what they've been following for years. This is what they love, this is what they believe in. You don't play with that. So if Chris wants to destroy everyone that hurts his feelings, what made him think it was a good idea to post this? That was a hardcore message you put out to the people, and you have a lot of fans. Oh, but there were no consequences for this. Why? Because apparently this doesn't matter as much as someone's feelings about their identity. But I'm not done. Let's go back to Tucker. Listen to this nonsense. Evan said, there goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. and weak men create hard times. Weak man times. As brutal as it sounds, sorry. This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back home when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate. It's taught by people like you. And my child will only know love. Okay, body. No, the world as you know is not all sunshine and rainbows. There are light times and there are dark times as well. Yes, love is very important, but there's also lots of hate out there. And whether you like it or not, that will never stop. And of course, Tucker begs for you to come home. He's 2. Duh. Men need to grow up strong. Hate to say it, you need to grow up strong. You need to do tough things, work with heavy equipment for a minute at least, work with your hands, be outside. And for that to happen, he needs a father figure. If a kid sees his father and also sees painted nails, and he also sees painted nails on his mother, what's going on here? Once again, I'm not saying that the LG+++ community must be stopped. What I'm saying is that do what you want to do, but don't push it on other people. It's not cool, it's not nice, it's not respectful. You're trying to make people that like a certain gender like a different gender. You're pushing it on children. As I said before, children are very malleable. If a child sees someone dress a certain way, they want to dress that certain way as well. If a child hears you say a certain word that just catches their attention, they'll start repeating that word. Children don't really do as they're taught, but they do as they see. If he sees his father in the gym pumping iron, getting jacked, that's what he wants to do because that's what he looks up to. Which if you guys want to do what you want to do, you do you. Once again, I am cool with everyone. If I see someone that likes something different on the street, hello, good afternoon, how are you? That's it. Peaceful as we all should be. I don't care what you like. But trying to push things into people's faces and rub them around is not nice. I got a quick story. Not too long ago, I was looking for an apartment, a studio. And I thought maybe it would be a good idea to rent a room. Let's get a room in with some other people in different rooms, but in the same apartment. You could do that now, you can rent that out. And it said in the requirements, we prefer a person that's LGBT. You prefer discrimination? Are you discriminating? It's like, for example, saying, we prefer blue people to come here instead of green people. What? If that community wants everybody to like their own gender, eventually there won't be any more reproduction. You understand? That's kind of the reasons why there's 2 different, right? Because when they like each other and get together, reproduction. If you go like this, nothing happens. If you go like this, nothing happens. You understand? You can't put the little cells in there. You get my point? Or do I have to explain it more in detail? Chris can make a change. He can. I believe that it is not too late. I'm not saying that it's not okay for him to do what he's doing. I'm just saying that he can make a change. He could shock the world. Chris appears in the biggest platform on the planet, YouTube. But not only YouTube, Mr. Beast's channel on YouTube with the most views, 124 million views in a couple of days. That's pretty fracking good. 140 million subscribers, which most of the subscribers are under 18, more easily influenced. Kids that watch Mr. Beast want to be Mr. Beast. If they see Chris in there, they want to be Chris. And if Chris shows them, hey, look, I felt the opposite, so I became the opposite. What he could do is say, look, kids, I made a choice, potentially a bad choice, potentially. But now I realize, wow, now I have a child. And it's my responsibility to be the best example for that child to grow as he's supposed to grow. My creator blessed me with a boy. That means that child shall be raised as a boy. But if that girl or that boy at 18 or 21 decide to transition, hey, you're an adult now, you get to make your own choices. Doesn't mean you're making the right choice, but doesn't mean you're making the wrong choice either. But if you chop the part off and then turn 40 or 50 and think, wow, it's gone. I can't do anything now. I'm pretty much screwed. I can't continue the legacy that I was gonna leave behind. Now it's just, there's nothing there. And you can teach the kids like, hey, I thought I was doing the right thing, but then I realized I probably wasn't doing the right thing. I have responsibilities now. And my responsibility is to show these 140 million subscribers that just because you have a temptation doesn't mean you act on it. Just because you wanna doesn't mean you know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to be a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before anything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him. In a way, this way for Tucker. I think he meant, in a way, this was for Tucker. I wouldn't do much of explaining over this. I think you guys all get where I'm getting at here. This was for Tucker. You want to show up as your happiest self for him? How about your strongest self for him? How about you show that just because you don't like how something is, doesn't mean it's going to change for you. Work around to make your life better in different ways. Doesn't mean just because you're 35 and you want to be 21, it means you're 21. I don't know how many more words I can repeat this. It's just like, It's not how things work. Smash the subscribe button and like the video unless you really don't like it. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. I am out.